welcome to my new YouTube channel. So I'll be doing covers of songs, hopefully that people recommend to me. I am a voice teacher. I have been a voice teacher for a few years now, and I saw that there's a little bit of a market here on YouTube for watching voice teachers actually critique live singing, if it's from a celebrity or even just a follower or a friend. So I thought I'd take recommendations to start listening to live artists and basically going through YouTube videos and pausing them and giving my critique as if I were to be teaching them, as I do with my students. So as on top of that, I do real estate here in New York, and I thought it'd be great to do some video coverage of different neighborhoods here, or of different apartments and homes that I'll be working on, just to get a little bit more exposure and help teach people a little bit more about real estate, especially here in New York, because it's a whole different monster here. Today I wanted to share with my fellow singers, as we're stuck in quarantine, at least I hope most of us are in quarantine, and those of us who can't be, I hope you're being safe. I wanted to show how we can continue to grow our voices and keep our voices healthy and active while we're not working actively. To start off, I'm going to show you guys my favorite exercise. I start all my students off with this exercise because if I could do the splits, which I cannot do the splits, but if I could do the splits, I would want to stretch my body. I call this my tongue stretching exercise. If you take your hand on either side of what people call their voice box, or the cartilage in your larynx that covers and protects your vocal folds, you want to lightly press on either side of your voice box and slowly move it back and forth like so. For men, it's going to be a tiny bit above their Adam's apple, and for women, you can feel that you also have an Adam's apple. You're going to go on either side of where your Adam's apple is, but for men, try and hold a tiny bit above where your Adam's apple is. Now, when you wiggle this back and forth, you might feel that it runs into things here and there. And we don't want it to be hitching on anything, any tendons or muscles in our throat, because that's going to show us that things are just still too tight. They're not moving the way they're supposed to be moving. So if you check in and you notice, oh, I'm still tight, I'm not moving very well to the left as I am to the right, or if you're hitching on some things, right now I'm great, I'm warmed up, then you want to do this exercise again, and you want to keep doing it until you find that you can freely move this back and forth. I use the words from Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And I'm going to show you what it looks like if I was brand new to this exercise. So for those of you who have never done this exercise before, and I hope some of my students are watching and have already been working on this exercise, but you want to take 2 fingers. Now make sure you wash your hands before you do this exercise. You want clean fingers, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tip of my tongue, I'm going to stretch my tongue down, and I'm going to say the words to Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Now you'll notice that my tongue stayed out the entire time, even though it likes to fight a little bit, and you'll notice too that your tongue's really going to fight your fingers, so you can take your time, re-grip when you need to, but you want to make sure you keep your tongue outstretched. I also stayed on my voice the entire time, so I didn't have any raspy somewhere over the, everything was somewhere over the rainbow on my full voice, using nice breath support. And I didn't just stay monotone. It wasn't somewhere over the rainbow way up high. I went somewhere over the rainbow, trying to change up my intonation and my notes so that this can start to stretch out. So I do that once down. Then we're going to go to the side. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Now, one more really important thing with this exercise is that you'll notice you can understand every word that I'm saying, even if I can't quite pronounce every letter the way it's supposed to be pronounced, as my tongue's sticking out of my mouth, obviously. So the important things to think about are inflection, changing the inflection on our voice, using breath support to stay on our voice the entire time, and to enunciate. So I'll do it to both sides, and then the hardest one is going up. Now, when you're going up, I'm going to show you from an angle so you can see. It's harder to hold your tongue. I actually find this one easier if you do it without holding on, but if you haven't gotten your tongue used to doing this stretch, it's going to be very hard to do without holding on. So you want to pull your tongue straight out and then just flip up the tip. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in the lullaby. So you want to do that twice all the way through, okay? So that is one of the exercises that I like to do. I do it without holding on, and you should work up to not being able to hold on because it's going to create a much better stretch for your tongue. Please remember that you can use any lyrics that you like. I really encourage people to use a song that they can relate to, lyrics that they're always going to remember, and something that they don't mind repeating multiple times day after day after day. I'm going to do a quick run through of the exercise of me doing it. It'll be fast speed without holding on so that you can see what the exercise should look like. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning into my very first tutorial YouTube video. If you are interested in learning more about your voice, you're welcome to reach out to me. I do teach. I can teach on Zoom. I can teach in person when all this is over. And I think on Mondays I'll start posting videos of different exercises and information about your voice. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Help me grow my new business. And tune in next time. Thanks.